Well, we have become aware of what General Mkhwanazi said. We've been saying. I didn't have time to look at TV, but there are those statements that he has made.
Hello there, guys, and welcome to Daily Updates. The president is currently in Brazil, and today we've just listened to a shocking address by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, who really is accusing a lot of people, especially high-profile members of parliament, in the crimes that we are seeing. It is very shocking, and he goes further to even speak about the fact that there are celebrities who have been killed in the country, all because of the organized crime that is happening in the country. I want us to listen to some of the most shocking parts of the address by General Mkhwanazi, because he's really pointing fingers at Shadrack, Sibiya and Senzo Mchunu, the minister of police. What a mafia state that we are living in. But without wasting any time, please listen to the clip of General Mkhwanazi pointing fingers at Shadrack, Sibiya and Senzo Mchunu.
On the 26th of March 2025, this year, a total of 121 case dockets that were under investigation were taken away from the task team as directed by a Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, a Lieutenant General Sibiya, who was acting on the instruction of the Minister of Police to disband the team. This was done without the authority of the National Commissioner, nor I, as a Provincial Commissioner, was never informed. These case dockets have since March been sitting at the head office ever since, without any investigation work done on them. 5 of these dockets had already instruction to arrest perpetrators, but nothing has been done because a Lieutenant General Sibiya, being instructed by the minister, or well, executing instruction of the minister, withdrew all these dockets, and they're sitting in an archive in his office in Pretoria. God knows why. Therefore, only a total of 112 dockets which are still in court, of which 54 of them are political related, and others will include parallel ad hoc, as well as those the dockets that are involving the incident at Fort Hare University, and 5 of them are traditional leadership, are still with the team at this present moment.
It would really not be South Africa without political interference, because whatever that is working, they are going to make sure that they interfere. The next clip really speaks about the interference stopping the special task team from doing its work. Please have a listen.
In the year 2024, a request was received from Gauteng Organized Crime Investigating Unit to assist with the investigation to dismantle the organized crime syndicate that was operating in Gauteng, that was controlled in Gauteng but operating in the rest of the country and in neighboring countries. I, as a Provincial Commissioner, took a decision to deploy 10 members from this political killings task team to go and support this organized crime unit in Gauteng. I can tell South Africans that this decision was a cause for the disbandment letter of this team, because they overstepped their mandate of only focusing in KZN. They went to support Gauteng Organized Crime Unit with the dismantling of a criminal syndicate. And I can confirm before the South Africans today that the investigation which these members were involved with in Gauteng has unmasked the syndicate. And this syndicate involves, amongst others, politicians who are currently serving in Parliament. The law enforcement officers include the members of the South African Police Service, the Metro Police, and Correctional Services. They include prosecutors in Gauteng province, the judiciary, and all these are controlled by the drug cartel as well as business people in that province of Gauteng. This act, of course, undermines the criminal justice system in this country. Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi sends a WhatsApp message to myself, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, regarding the allegation on the defeating the ends of justice matters which were widely publicized, which involves an incident that happened at the Correctional Service at Mpangeni in KwaZulu-Natal. Mr. Brown sends this message in September last year, long before the news came out in public about the incident that happened at Mpangeni. He sends this message. In this message that he sends to the Provincial Commissioner, he attaches a police letter and he attaches a copy of the occurrence book, a register that is used at the police station that's supposed to only be accessed by police officers. But Mr. Brown, who's not a police officer, attaches those in his message and he sends it to the Provincial Commission. His word says there is a plot to charge you. Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi also sends a screenshot of a presentation that was made on the 30th of September 2024, a presentation that was titled 2024-2025 Division Crime Intelligence Policies. He sends this to myself, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, as a Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal. Surely this must have been a classified information where crime intelligence are presenting their policies.
Well, now that the issue of interference has been executed, and successfully so, it is now time to listen a relationship between someone called Brian Mkhwanazi and Senzo Mchunu, who is the Minister of Police. Have a listen.
So after this communication, the Provincial Commissioner called the Chief of Staff, Mr. Nkabinde, the Chief of Staff of the Minister of Police, and asked the Chief of Staff, who is this Brian Mkhwanazi? This Brian Mkhwanazi seems to be traveling with the Minister to Lusikisiki. Who is he? Because I've never heard of him. The response from the Chief of Staff was that Mr. Brian Mkhwanazi is an associate of the Minister, but is not employed in a department. That's when I got a confirmation about Mr. Brian Mkhwanazi. And I asked the Chief of Staff to send the phone number of this Brian Mkhwanazi, of which he did. It is that number that made me to confirm that indeed the person who's sending me WhatsApp messages is the same person that is called Brian Mkhwanazi and is from Northwest. On the 5th of March 2025, the South African Police appeared before the Portfolio Committee in Parliament. A presentation was made to this Portfolio Committee by the Provincial Commission of KwaZulu-Natal, which included the allegations of an associate of the Minister of Police, Mr. Brian Mkhwanazi. The Minister denied on record. Go and Google a visual presentation to the Portfolio Committee on the 5th of March this year. Towards the end of that briefing, where the Minister of Police responded and he said he does not know this Mr. Brian Mkhwanazi. He said that in Parliament. However, the Minister confirmed that he knows this Mr. Brian Mkhwanazi.
I think I picked up something that Provincial Commissioner Mkhwanazi is saying about some fellow. 2 weeks ago, it does happen. In a week or 2 or 3, I think a week and a half ago, I got somebody insisting that there's somebody who's going around saying he works with me wherever I am, he is there. And I said, show me the face. And it got to a point where he showed me the face and I told him, I don't know this person. And a week before, there was another person, a Mchunu, who said is my younger brother. My younger brother died in 2005, and I don't have any other. And so when the person says so, you really, so I think we must be very circumspect when people come to us and say, I'm an associate of this and that. I'm no associate to the person that General Mkhwanazi is referring to. But I appreciate whatever they discussed and then those things coming out so that I understand who is saying what, where, and so on. I do know that possibly all of us, including you, Chair, you would have at one point or the other somebody claiming that they are your associate. It does happen. But other than that, thank you very much.
I really want to go back to remember the execution of South African artist, someone like DJ Somebody, who was really short execution style. And also in Durban, there is an artist called AKA who was shot and murdered in front of a lot of people. The way in which he was killed, the fact that till today there is no single person who's been found guilty of both crimes is really shocking. But you'd really be interested in listening to this clip, which really speaks about the organized crime, which was really going to the most prominent people, executing them, making sure that they are out of the way. For what? Nobody knows. Please have a listen.
The evidence has been found in the cell phone of Mr. Vusimus, also known as Cat Matlala, which shows the communication between Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi and the Minister of Police, Mr. Senzo Mchunu. As I said, this was the beginning of the closure of the political task team. I'll try to outline some sequence of events. I had said the team left for Gauteng to go and assist organized crime in Gauteng. There was a shooting incident that had occurred in April 2024, where Mr. Swart, a QTech employee, was fatally shot while entering the company premises. QTech has been a long-standing service provider to Transnet. Shortly after the incident, 3 suspects, including a warrant officer, a South African Police Service warrant officer, a detective Tau Pule, were arrested in Johannesburg. During the arrest, weapons that were used in this murder, which was an AK-47 and a pistol, along with cell phones, were confiscated. I must applaud the team in Gauteng who had effected this arrest before the arrival of the team in KZN. It is the challenges that this investigating team of Gauteng encountered that led into the invitation to the KwaZulu-Natal police to go and assist. The KwaZulu-Natal political killings task team arrival, they took these weapons and they went and tested them. So they conducted a ballistic test in order to check whether these farms were linked with that murder and many other murders perhaps that will have occurred in the country. Maybe let me pause on that one and come back into what had happened prior to us receiving the results from the task team, ballistic test result. On the 6th of December 2024, the task team visited the premises of the 2 of the high-profile syndicate, of which one, Mr. Katiso Molefe, was arrested for the murder of Mr. Swart of QTech. During that arrest, an unusual activities were observed whilst the team were busy with the operation. These activities included a dispatching of members of the South African Police Service under the command of a senior manager at the head office to go and interrupt the operation that was unfolding. Fortunately, when they arrived there, the members realized that it is indeed a police operation, so they allowed the members to carry out their operation without disturbance. On the 30th December 2024, the ballistic expert issued a ballistic report which linked these firearms not only with the murder of Mr. Swart, but these firearms were linked with a number of high-profile cases. And these cases include very high-profile South African artists that were murdered in Gauteng, which occurred dating back as far as 2021. I'm not going to mention them, but we have them on record. On the 31st of December, 2024, the Minister of Police, Mr. Senzo Mchunu, issues a letter to disband the political killings task team and to suspend the filling of vacancies within crime intelligence. In January, February, and April this year, the Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, Lieutenant General Sibiya, issued written instructions withdrawing all these cases from the task team to his office. On the 14th of May this year, 2025, the task team arrested Vusi Muzi, who is also known as Cat Matlala, for an attempted murder ×3. I must highlight that this Mr. Vusi Muzi Cat Matlala is an individual who was awarded a police contract of over 360 million rand in 2024. An analysis was conducted on electronic communication of this arrested person. This analysis reveals communication between the arrested Vusimus at Cat Matlala, Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi, an associate of the Minister of Police, as well as the Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu. On the 1st of January, the letter is issued on the 31st. On the 1st of January, 2025, Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi sends a WhatsApp to Vusi Muzi Cat Matlala, and it reads as follows, I quote, "I have arranged a meeting for Sibiya and the minister. They must have a solution." And it follows another message. "The task team that came to your house and harassed you have been dissolved. They got the letter on Monday. As we speak, they are bringing all docket to Sibiya." This letter is issued on the 31st of December 2024. This communication is on the very next day, the 1st of January 2025, where it says the dockets have been called and have been sent to Sibiya. Yes, we know the dockets only were sent to Sibiya in March this year. Further analysis of the chats indicates that Vusimuzi Cat Matlala is financially supporting the Minister of Police and Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi's political endeavors. This is supported by the evidence of conversation and the proof of payments of guests for January 8 traveling cost and the Ghana dinner in Cape Town, which was done in 2025. The proof of payment, we have it. As I said, we're going to share with you where Mr. Matlala is sending this proof of payment to Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi. On the 2nd of January 2025, at about 10:05 in the morning, Vusimuzi Cat Matlala receives a copy of the letter of the disbandment of the political killings task team from Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi, who is an associate with the Minister of Police. I pause to remind you that this is the very same Brown Mkhwanazi that the Minister of Police had denied in Parliament and later confirmed to be his comrade but not involved with police matters. But he's sending this communication. That's what we have discovered.
This next part of revelation really needs one to sit down and grab popcorns because it is very shocking. General Mkhwanazi really dives deep into exposing the communication between Senzo Mchunu and some of the people who have been fingered. One of the things that they are mentioning is that tenders were part of the scheme. Please have a listen.
On the 14th of January 2025, Mr. Brown communicates with Mr. Vusimuzi Cat Matlala as follows, I quote, "Sure, don't forget to work on your invoices." On the 15th January, Mr. Vusimuzi Cat Matlala responds with a screenshot of an invoice that he has submitted to the South African Police Service which I guess was due for payment on his contract. On the 26th of January 2025, Mr. Mkhwanazi sent a message to the Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu, which reads as follows, I quote, "The guy of the funding in bracket 20 is also in Joburg from Tuesday. He is the one I said has a 3 billion contract with SAPS." Close quote. Open quote, again another message. "I am also meeting with the DNC and the COS today." Now, in the abbreviation, the DNC in the South African Police Service is referred to as the Deputy National Commissioner, and the COS would be, in this regard, the Chief of Staff. He says, "I'm also meeting with the DNC and Chief of Staff today in Durban for finalization of Khumalo and General Mkhwanazi's matter." Close quote. Another message reads, "DNC is waiting for the Chief of Staff here. This is very significant." Close quote. This is extracted from the communication of the arrested person. So we ask ourselves a question: is there a theory of conspiracy targeting senior officers involving the Minister of Police in this country? On the 31st of December, we have seen Mr. Mkhwanazi sending the following message to the Minister of Police, which reads, "Minister, I'm going to get the case number and the judgment for you. Now we got something proven by the court. It is a matter now which either Sibiya or the minister can charge Khumalo and apply Rule 9 of the disciplinary regulations of the South African Police Service. It took the Constitutional Court to release a man who was sentenced to life imprisonment through a forced Section 204 confession. Imagine, Comrade Senzo, after 30 years of democracy, having this kind of policing. The good thing now is that these are not allegations, but a court judgment." This is extracted from a conversation that Mr. Mkhwanazi is sending to the Minister of Police. I, fortunately, am a citizen in this country. My families are spread across different provinces. So it is my duty and the fellow police officers to protect them. So I'm not going to surrender their freedom. I'm not going to surrender their safety to anyone. So I will die for this badge. I will die for them. So I will fight this fight until the end. Wherever the end is, we will fight. We're not going to stop. We've got family members, brothers and sisters, we've got children that are exposed to drugs. This drug cartel, which includes a group in Gauteng that's operating in Gauteng as their headquarters, are importing these drugs from abroad, South America in the main, through this port of Durban, amongst others, to Gauteng, and they process them in Gauteng, and from there they distribute this drug all over in the country as well as other countries. We've been involved with a lot of shooting incidents in KZN, especially Tinanda. As we're engaging with these youngsters, we're doing analysis, and we're realizing, yes, they might be ill-disciplined kids, but their behavior is encouraged by the substance that they take. It gives them courage to kill, it gives them courage to rape, it gives them courage to murder. And if we take away this substance, they will become good citizens. They will become good kids. So therefore, we need to get rid of drugs. Now we understand when we fight with the drug cartels that have controlled police generals, have controlled prosecution and judiciary, it's not going to be a small game. So unfortunately, some of us have to sacrifice. We've reached a stage where we are sacrificing for the good of the South Africans, for the children of South Africa, to be free from drugs. So I do hope that the authorities that have been briefed about this will take necessary action in dealing with it.
I'm going to give my opinion on this explosive address by General Mkhwanazi, but before I do that, I want you guys to listen to the response of Senzo Mchunu and Shadrack Sibiya.
Well, we have become aware of what General Mkhwanazi said we have been saying. I didn't have time to look at TV, but there are those statements that he has made. We will, in good time, apply our mind to those kind of statements.
Way such as I'm not going and then take it from here, but I can tell you that there's no truth whatsoever in everything that he said. Everything, including even in the meeting that we had with the minister. It was a mature meeting. He never uttered such way such as I'm not going to participate in a meeting with a criminal. I hear it for the first time. And safe to tell you that, in fact, you will find that the opposite is true. What Mkhwanazi is saying, there's no truth in all this. There's no truth whatsoever.
My response on this matter is that we live in a country that really, since the days of Jackie Silibi, we've seen that crime in South Africa is never going to end. We've seen that politicians can do whatever they want as long as they get what they want. There's been a lot of killings, especially in the KZN. Politicians have been murdered, Amakosi, artists have been killed. You go to Gauteng and the rest of the country. Now, people would really think it's jealousy. Maybe those people who are killed were involved in those things. Yes, they might be. But the biggest problem that we are having are the people at the top. Once you hear a fearless commissioner like General Mkhwanazi, once you hear that, you really have to know that it has hit the roof. The reason that he goes out with this is because he has realized if he doesn't speak up, bad things will end up continuing forever. It is very shocking to listen to this, and I don't think at once that General Mkhwanazi is looking for a job of a police commissioner, a national police commissioner. He's not looking for that. He's only doing his job. The fact that he's mentioning Senzo Mchunu, a minister of police, out of all these things, I mean, you are at the top. It starts and it ends with you. Mentioning this man, it means a lot of things have been done. You listen to the relationship between Shadrack Sibiya, Brian Mkhwanazi, Senzo Mchunu and the other people. You have to wonder, are tenders really more important than the lives of the people? I mean, of course, they're going to say that there's no truth in whatever that General Mkhwanazi is saying. He's looking for a job. But I don't think the man would just call a briefing to lie to the people of South Africa. Look at the issue of drugs. He's speaking about South America. You go to the news. Each and every month, there are people who are arrested because of drugs. I'm going to tell you how they do this. They let one person get caught. And when you see one person getting caught, just know that drugs worth billions have just entered the country. The focus will be on 2 million, 3 million, billions have entered the country. That is how they maneuver. We are never going to kill crime. Ramaphosa is the president, and unfortunately, these things have happened before him, and they continue to happen under his leadership. They were happening when he was the deputy president. They are still continuing under his leadership as the president. If he cannot make decisions, proper decisions, remove Senzo Mchunu, remove Shadrack Sibiya, remove each and every individual that is tainted. And I think they should go as further as telling us who are the people in parliament who are involved. Because you will really get shocked. And I don't think it's only the people of ANC. It is a lot of people. They enjoy getting rich through the blood. They just killed an auditor from the city of Ekurhuleni. When you go further with the stats, the thing that General Mkhwanazi is talking about, the auditor from city of Ekurhuleni falls under that. You dare play with our money, we are going to spill blood. And a lot of blood has been spilled. No arrests have been made. I mean, you can arrest an individual and you have a minister allegedly speaking with some of the con artists. speaking with people who are tainted, and nothing is really going to get done because they are blocking those which will be the revelation of the criminals. It is very shocking, and listening to this as a South African, we really have to go to the street and demand that there is justice to these accusations that General Mkhwanazi is coming with. Nobody is safe in this country under such lawlessness operation. It's like we don't have a president. We are on autopilot because people are doing as they like. Cry our beloved country. But you've been crying since 1994. Are you ever going to get quiet and things run smooth? I don't think so. It is a country where alive with possibility is our slogan. But what happened today really shows that there is far much deeper problem that we see. A lot of people have been killed in the past. If they go further to investigate, you are going to be shocked. Some of these politicians are going to fill the jails because most of them are tainted. Look at young boys in Kabis who are killing, and when you look at them, you think those are the main problems. They are not. They are high kingpins, drug dealers, politicians, and everybody who's involved in crime. They are there at the top, sending the young boys to go and kill. But our country is bleeding, and we are losing far more important people because the dunderheads think about money. Are we ever going to get back to normal things? Are we ever going to see South Africa really marshalling nicely into a country that has the law, police doing their job? Are we ever going to find that? I doubt, unless something is done. But one thing I need the people of South Africa to look at is that it is about time ANC is finally removed as the governing party. 2029 is too far. Action needs to be done next year at the 2026 local elections. You remove ANC from each and every province, each and every municipality. Once you do that, you go to the national elections in 2029, you remove them, and after removing them, you start the proceedings of investigating all of the parliamentarians, all of the comrades, arrest them. Once done, you clean up South Africa, because cleaning up the comrades is the first step into cleaning the country. I am really shocked at what happened, and to hear General Mkhwanazi saying, I am not really scared of my life because I care about cleaning the country. One has to shed a tear, because if a man stands up and fights for a country, when you know that he's the only man fighting, you must really know that the biggest challenge is ahead of us. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning into the channel, and please, if you do want to support the channel, become a member at just $5.99. There is an option to click that says join next to subscribe. Once you subscribe, you can just click that join button and become a member of the channel. I am really shocked, and I would really appreciate you guys following and becoming a member on this channel. Until next time, cheers.